Hey guys, I'm Princess. Welcome back to my channel. So I'm here with my friend Melissa.
Hello.
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 She's so awesome. She reached out to me because she heard about the video that I was filming today and she thought that it was just as important and she wanted to jump on board. So today's going to be a heavy topic. It's going to be heavy for a reason. I want to talk about anxiety and stress. Often people don't want to talk about this, like, oh no, you're fine, you're fine. But it's really an important topic that I feel everyone should talk about and everyone should be prepared for. College, university, apprenticeship, whatever. The real world equals real stress. And with stress comes anxiety. Although the two are very different, they often overlap several times. So I think it's very important that we talk about this, hence this video. I'm here with Melissa, and I wanted to talk to her about her experience in university and your stress and anxiety, whatever you feel comfortable talking about with
For sure.
my wonderful audience here.
Yeah, well, like you said, it's a very important topic to talk about and to be open about it because, well, okay, I'll just quickly explain my story. I started experiencing anxiety around grade 11 or grade 12. And I've actually talked to a lot of people, and that happens to a lot of people during that time because it's a change in your life. You have new responsibilities. You're going away from home potentially. You're meeting with a whole new crowd. It can be very stressful. And for my experience, I started experiencing panic attacks specifically around grade 12 and in first year. And it's something that I kept to myself for a long time, and it's something that I was very confused about as to, like, I seemed normal and it was all in my head. So it was very, I don't know, it took a while to understand and to reach out. But once I reached out and spoke to a few people about it, it was almost as if, like, not everyone, but a lot of people experience anxiety
Like
in
you're not
different
alone.
levels. Yeah. And I thought it was just myself and my own head. And it was incredible seeing the amount of people that were supportive in my decision and getting help, which I think is one of the most important things to do. It can be getting help from just speaking to someone and feeling comfortable with that person, or seeking help into getting CBT, which is cognitive behavioral therapy, which is something that very much helped me get through it. And I know some people that also have taken medicine. If medication is the way that you need to start, or even to continue, it's something that's very important. And everyone's brains are different. Everyone has different thoughts, emotions. So yeah, if it's not, it shouldn't be stigmatized as it is.
I totally agree with that.
Yeah, exactly. So that's kind of where I'm at, and I feel like, yeah, the CBT really helped me reaching out to people and almost normalizing anxiety as if it's not something that is like
alien to people.
Exactly, and like a mental illness that people should be only spoken about in, a room with one-on-one psychologists.
Yeah.
No, it's something that a lot of people experience.
We experience it every single day.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and so that's why it's good we're talking about this.
It is. It's very important that we're talking about this. I, as well, have experienced panic attacks throughout my life. Mine started much younger, from when I was in grade 5. I had experienced extreme panic attacks. And I also developed a form of social anxiety. I know everybody's looking at me like, you're not shy, you're not, what do you mean? But it can be very crippling. Stress and anxiety can be very crippling. And that's what this video is for. I want to break the stigma, raise awareness, and talk about this. This is important. We all deal with stress. We all deal with the physical and psychological manifestations of stress. And it's important to recognize that and to mostly know that you're not alone. Just as Melissa, thankfully,
Yes.
I'm so glad that you realized you weren't alone.
Yes.
I want my viewers to know that you guys are not alone either. We all deal with stress in different degrees. We all deal with anxiety at different levels. Nobody's alien, nobody's strange. It's not a strange thing. We live in 2015. This is a very stressful time. If you're in university in 2015 with this amount of problem and this amount of homework and you're not living in home and XYZ, you're stressed out. Reach out to people, talk to your friends, talk to your family, seek help. So I kind of want to dive into some tips now that we've talked about this and we're all open. We both know stress, so we both want to talk about stress and just kind of preparing for the stress. So my first tip is to know your triggers. My trigger personally is sleep. If I don't sleep, I will spiral. I will go crazy.
Yeah.
I've also, as a child, I've dealt with depression, and it comes and goes and comes and goes, and it can be very strong and crippling at times. That's a whole nother video. But I know a trigger for me is sleep. If I don't get 7 hours of sleep, it'll be a mess. Just don't play games with me. I will cancel on you. I will not go to class.
Yeah.
I need to sleep because I know that's a trigger for me. Know your triggers and avoid them. Point number 2 is to know your limits. Limits and triggers are a little bit different. A trigger is something that is the direct cause. I know my sleep is a direct cause of any depressive feelings I'm feeling. But limits is, an example is workload. So I know I can't work 17 hours a day and try to graduate university. I know I can't do that. So it's important to know your boundaries and limits and to know your triggers.
Apart from sleep, also what you eat and how much exercise you get, which obviously everyone tells you, but there's a reason why everyone tells you. It's definitely true. If you just spiral down and, I don't know, have a very unhealthy eating habit, or you just don't ever exercise, try it. Whatever you do, from yoga to, I don't know, lifting weights, to even just walking around, it can really clear your mind. And I've spoken to a lot of people that have just taken up half an hour walking in the park a day, and that helps them clear their mind, even though it's not necessarily like, oh, I'm gonna sweat today kind of exercise. Yeah, it definitely helps just to setting a specific amount of time for yourself and focusing on what you want to do in that day and figuring out your thoughts, and it's just a great like stress reliever. So
definitely,
yeah.
I know sugar is definitely like a stressor. It can, and caffeine as well.
Caffeine. Yeah.
Sorry, Starbucks people. I'm so sorry. I didn't mean to offend you. If you're a Starbucks person, like that loyalty card sleeps with you. Like
gold member.
We have
a gold member.
My name is Lauren. I'm a gold member. It definitely is correlated because, like, it messes with your sleep, like your whole brain chemistry. Sugar and caffeine, try to stay clear of them. I know that we all want our little biscuits, especially me. You know, I'm a plump girl. I like my sugar, but I've definitely learned the hard way that sugar is not the best. Fruits versus like refined sugar is so much more worth it. So try and get your fix other places.
And it's also like a mental thing too. Like if you just feel yourself eating healthy, you almost, I don't know,
yeah,
like
you feel better.
You feel good, even though it's like, I don't know, if you like in a meal you eat something healthy, you just like,
I had a salad, like
yeah. So it's all in your mind. So
it really is all mental.
Yeah. So another thing that helps with anxiety and stress is organizing your thoughts and what you have to do that day or in the week or even in the year. If you feel
Your
like
whole
you
life,
have,
man.
yeah, like just if you feel like there's too much going on and you have too many goals, it's really good to just write it down and feel like you can achieve those goals later. Before going to bed, just like write down all the worries you have. It's better just to have them there than to be like, oh, I have to do this and I have to do that.
Keeping a journal like right there to just spill out your brain so you can go to sleep like fine.
It's very important. And like positive thought is too.
Mm-hmm.
I know this is like a bit different, but one of the hardest things to do for some people it can be easier, but is positive thought. So if you have a lot of negative like thoughts, which does come with anxiety, you just think negatively.
It's gonna manifest itself.
Exactly. Yeah. So
you kind of have to teach yourself to think positively.
Yeah.
And it's hard.
It's really hard.
Yeah.
Yeah. It is. So like so for some people it's like, oh, it's gonna be great. Like don't worry about like you know those people are just like so chill.
Yeah. You're just spilling out happiness out their butt.
So sometimes you have to like almost fake it to make it.
Exactly.
So you have to be like, oh, it'll be fine, and you have to almost get those attitudes from those positive people and just integrate them to yourself, and that way you will see yourself becoming just a positive person naturally, and just thinking positive thoughts instead of always thinking the worst outcome.
Yeah, like the utmost.
Yeah, catastrophizing, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Is the thing that...
And that used to be my thing. Oh my gosh. Like it was so hard. It was so easy for me to think the worst. And like the biggest thing that changed that for me was like the people I spent time with.
Exactly.
Like fill your circle with happy people. I know it sounds like kind of silly or kind of like
so true.
What? Like superficial. You will like adapt those happy principles.
Like that's something that I've learned too. It's like almost one of my not mottos, but like if I were to have to do something, is like be surrounded by people that you want to be or that you see yourself as and specifically positive people. If that's the way, just do it, because it'll definitely, you will see we're humans and we're social humans, and you don't realize that you adapt things from other people. So it's really important to yeah, surround yourself with positive people or people that support you and lift you up instead of pull you down.
It's also important not to fill your plate, because we're all post-secondary, and we all want to, like, third year, I want to be, like, doing everything. Like, first 2 years I was so not involved, but now I want to be doing, like, helping this practicum and doing this and, like, doing this on the side, and then 6 classes, and then internship and working and blah 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 blah. Don't fill your plate, because that plate of stress, if it tips over, you'll tip over with it, and it's not fun. Keep yourself organized, just as Melissa said. Being organized means saying no sometimes. And it's hard, like, especially when you want to do everything, but just know that it's for your health. It's the most, and your health is the most important thing. That opportunity, if it's for you, it will come back. I'm a strong believer in that. It'll come back. But your health, you only have it one time. You only have your life one time. So just try to keep it intact. Don't break it. You know what I mean? Don't push your limits. Don't push your health. Just keep your plate full but light, if that kind of makes sense.
It's like my mom always says, just do what you can. If it's too much, then that's that, and you can move on. But just do what you can, and be content with the amount of progress that you've made. Everyone's different. Everyone can handle, like, there's people that don't sleep and can function fine.
I can't do
like
that.
Lucky them, but
I know.
Yeah,
I hate you.
Good.
Is what I really want to feel.
Everyone's different. So yeah.
Just know what works for you.
Exactly.
Don't try to be like.
Don't
X,
compare
Y, and Z.
yourself. Yeah, exactly. Don't compare yourself.
We're in RTA, so it's hard because we see people doing like 15 practicums, just a joke number, but we see people doing so much, like 4 practicums and 6 classes, internship, a job on the side. Like, I can call out 3 people
and
right now.
Still.
Oh my God, I've never been to a party yet because I don't have time. Exactly, I don't have time. But don't compare yourself. Like, don't look at like her and be like, I wish. Know what works for you. You'll be thanking yourself when you just put your health first. Put your health first. So my final tip is to spread awareness. When you're shameless in your journey with stress, anxiety, anything, you'll inspire other people, and it's kind of a self-healing practice. Like me and Melissa, we're sharing our stories right now, and we're sharing our stories with one another, and it's very self-healing. Having anxiety is kind of a shameful thing because society makes it feel like you're supposed to be ashamed of it. But I'm telling you, when you start to open your mouth and break that stigma, you will not only feel better, but you'll encourage others to feel better. And it'll catch like wildfire. Just like you said, we're social creatures. So when you start putting out good vibes, putting out real vibes, putting out your experiences and your stories, people will be inspired by that. And it'll be good vibes all around. It's such a good thing.
Yeah, like you said, I think that's why a lot of people go through anxiety, apart from you just growing up. But you start realizing when you have those emotions that, and you're young, no one really speaks about them. I don't know, in like grade 8 and before, and then in high school, they kind of start talking about, oh yeah, you'll be getting, a bit more anxious, but no one starts speaking about them.
No one really tells you what you're in for.
Like there's no class I've never in high school about mental health, which I'm a total believer of that there should be.
Exactly.
Just like health class, there should be like a whole mental health, because everyone has.
Yeah, I feel like we don't need guidance counselors. We need psychologists. Like we all need someone to talk to. We're social creatures. Why don't we have anybody to talk to?
Yeah, so that's the best thing to do is find someone that you're comfortable with, and that's just a supporter too. Like you don't feel comfortable with that person that you're going to be telling something with, especially if it's for the first time that you're speaking about your anxiety. Make sure that it's someone that you trust, and that knows you a bit. So
you're not alone, guys.
Yes.
We are here for you.
Yay, you can do it.
Thank you so much, Melissa, for joining me.
Thank you. That was great.
Aw, guys, this is Melissa. I love her so much.
I was trying to do a peace sign and just fail.
I've been failing all day. I'm just loser.
You just,
No. We're real people, guys. You're real people too. I hope you're not robots, because robots are kind of scary and cold. But we're real human beings, we're warm, we have feelings, we have emotions, we have things going on, you know what I mean? So we're all here for each other. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I hope you guys learned something. I hope you guys feel better about your anxiety and stress. And I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye!